Welcome viewers to our YouTube channel Voice for Public Sector. Recently, government has passed an act, Major Port Authorities Act 2020, and they say this act will provide greater autonomy and flexibility to them. Now we have Comrade Narendra Rao, the General Secretary of Water Transport Workers Federation of India, with us. So we'll have a discussion about this act. Welcome, Comrade. Please join with us in this program.
Yes, Comrade, I'm very happy to join with you, and I would like to thank all the viewers of this video. Before giving this answer, I would like to say a few things about what is called Water Transport Workers Federation of India. First of all, we should understand in India, there are 9 coastal states. The coastal states means these coasts have the oceans in their border. For example, it starts from Gujarat, that is Gujarat and Maharashtra, then Karnataka, then Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal. So, this is the coastal states. Around these coastal states, there are 7,550 kilometers of water transport, that is water surface. This is the border. Almost you could have seen that the India is like a triangle. In this triangle, the 2 sides are oceans. One side is almost a hill Himalaya. So in this, there are 11 major ports are there. These 11 major ports are controlled by the government of India. There are some 187 minor ports are there in these coastal states. These minor ports are controlled by the local state, that is the so-called the coastal states. So the major ports play a very, very vital role in economical development of the country. The EXIM trade, that is export and import trade of the government of India, 90% of the export and import is being handled by these 11 major ports. In these 11 major ports, there are 65 to 70 port and dock workers are there, and other related workers, subsidiary workers, if you count, it will be around 1 lakh. Now, as you rightly said that the government has newly enacted an act called Major Port Authorities Act 2021. Earlier, it was called Major Port Trust Act 1963. The government wanted to repeal the old act and wanted to enact. Accordingly, it has done, it has finished everything. You know, and our viewers are very much aware, the 3 farm laws for which against the agriculture workers are still fighting to get back these 3 farm laws. During this period, that means in the 2020 September, October, the Major Port Trust Act also repealed, a new Major Port Authorities Act was enacted. Both Parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But what you said that it is the feasibility, that is the convenience of no. The very purpose of bringing this act is, I will tell you in one word. So far, the major ports are doing service to the public and service to the industry, service to the export import. What are the activities that the ports are doing for which they are collecting the service charges? That is there in the Major Port Trust Act 1963. Now, the government wanted to convert from service model to landlord model. What is the difference between the service model and landlord model? Landlord, you are aware, if anybody construct a house, some 20-25 houses or a shopping complex in the midst of the city and allowing them to be rented and collecting the rent, and a owner need not go and do any other business or any other job. He will be getting the revenue out as a rent of his building or his house. So thereby the port wanted to do the landlord model. All the inside terminal, cargo handling terminal. For example, I do not know how many of you have visited the Chennai port or any other port. Everyone should come to the Chennai port and they have to see. Chennai port is very long port. Its area begins from the war memorial and it ends at the Kasimedu. Kasimedu, you know that it is the first gate over there. So in that, there are so many cargo handling equipments. They are handling crude oil. They are handling container. They are handling breakable cargo, coal handling, ore handling, steel, everything. Very classical example I will tell you. A steel is coming from Japan. It goes to the Sri Perambuttur, Irungattukottai. There it is made as a Hyundai car. Again, the car comes to the port for export. So now it is coming as a raw material. After finished good, again it is getting export. So steel raw material is imported, and when it is converted as a car is being exported. So this is the example. Now the people, those who are working in this area, will not be required under this new law. Why? Because the cargo handling, that is car export import, will be dealt by the same old Hyundai company. So they will take over the area. They will earn some revenue. For example, if you earn 100 rupees per annum, that is the Hyundai car, the agent, the shipper, the stevedore, if he earns 100 rupees, he will take 70 rupees, 30 rupees he will pay to the port management as a royalty or revenue share. Thereby, port will not have any labor, any infrastructure, any responsibility. This is the landlord model port. So to convert the service model port into landlord model port, this act is facilitating them. What the government says is fully false. I would like to negate them. I am ready to answer for your next question. Thank you.
Thank you. You have clearly told about the number of ports and about more major ports and minor ports. And actually, you sounded it sounded me a little danger to hear a landlord model. So we have been hearing corporatizing. Now it is landlord. It is more, to me, it looks more danger. So yeah, I think the service is going to take the back seat, and landlords will again going back to the olden days, I think. And in this series, actually in this program, I want to ask the new system, that is the government again have come out with the national monetization pipeline. No, how is this going to affect port industry and employees?
Yes, comrade. It is a very good question which I have to address. The national monetization pipeline, it is very recently announced by our Honorable Finance Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, as elaborately given for various public sectors, including ports. So other public sectors, other respective leaders may attempt or may answer on this question. So I want to confine myself with the port and dock industry. So now I will tell you one example. The national monetization pipeline is about 6 lakhs crore of the public sector's assets will be monetized, and it will be put in the pipeline. That pipeline will go directly to Adani or Ambani or any other multinational corporate's house. So this money will go through this pipeline. That is why they are very specific and they are particular about this naming of this scheme, National Monetization Pipeline. So I will tell you, in the 11 major ports, as I have told you already, one premier port in the country is there. It is called Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, JNPT. It is in Maharashtra. That is just opposite to Bombay Port in Navi Mumbai. That means New Bombay. It is there. It is a premier port. Why we call it premier port? the per annum port alone earn rupees 2,400 crore per annum. It is handling only container terminal. It is having a very, very sophisticated infrastructure for handling the various designs of container. You may be aware that container is 20-foot container, 40-foot container, a freezer container, etc., etc. A lot of containers are there. So in that port, 4 container terminal is already being operated by the multinational company like Dubai Port World, Port of Singapore Authority, and the Great Eastern Company, like that. Only 1 container terminal was there with the JNPT. In that, port and dock workers were working. Now, in the new monetization pipeline, that only 1 container terminal owned by the port is also going to be privatized under this national monetization pipeline for the cost of 863 crore. Thereby, immediately after enacting this Major Port Authority Act, that is the first port in India, a classical example to say the first port will be declared as a landlord port. Gradually, then subsequently, one by one, other ports will be converted. For example, the next item is Tuticorin Port. Tuticorin Port will be next immediate conversion to the landlord port. So what that means, 2,400 crore it is earning, but without single worker of the port and dock, he is rendering his service. Port and dock worker will not render the service. Port will be earning the 2,400 crore. What will happen? Gradually, port will say, we are earning, you people have no service, you have no role in our earning, then what is the use keeping you in the service? So I will give you a VRS, special voluntary retirement scheme, etc., etc. Thereby you can go. So the port and dock worker will be losing their employment opportunity. Thereby, the crores and crores of youth who are expecting a job in the public sector and the social justice which people are expecting getting a job in the public sector, the downtrodden, the other backward community, the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community, those who are educating themselves and studying, coming gradually up, expecting that they will get the job, all their expectations, all their dreams will be going in the vain. So the Major Port Authority, it is very classical that in the National Monetization Pipeline itself, it is mentioned the Major Port Authorities Act is facilitating to introduce this National Monetization Pipeline in the major ports. So it is very dangerous. That is what we feel. One by one, within the next 2-3 years, all the ports will be converted as a landlord port. That is a danger which we are facing. We are planning our serious struggle.
Yeah, so the director of privatization is going to affect the industry and the employees. And what about our national security?
Yes. I have in many places pointed out this. In certain ports like Goa, Cochin, Maharashtra, and in Visakhapatnam, there is a naval base. Our naval base are there. Our Southern Command are there. If any terrorist or any enemy country is attacking, immediately from this naval base, our force will go and they will attack our enemy. So in this vulnerable ports area, when our military bases are there, these are all given to private hands. There is every possibility that there will be infiltration of anti-nationals, terrorists. That is also a very big threat which will be posing. That is, we would like to project before the public that national monetization or this Major Port Authority, everything is very, very serious and it will be affecting the country's national security.
Yes. This national port and the new act is actually going to affect, you say. Do you think you can resist with your union alone, or you are going to go to the public?
Yes, it is also one of the very good question. In the port and dock industry, there are 5 major federations. Like our water transport, our federation is affiliated with CITU. Like us, there is one federation is there. It is affiliated with HMS. We are number 2. And another one is number 3, AITUC Federation, number 4. INTUC. In all the port and dock workers federation, all our sister federations, we are unitedly fighting together against this onslaught, against this policy of the government of India, privatizing the terminal and converting the port into landlord model. What you have rightly said, it is very important question. Yes. Nowadays, during this period of pandemic, people could able to realize. Today also, there is an article in English Hindu, that is how the health and education sector should not be privatized and it should be kept under the government control. Like that, in the pandemic period, people realized if the vaccination producing companies, public sector, like HLL in Chengalpattu, if all these vaccinated producing company or a very big hospitals, if it is all under control of the government of India, the people could have taken shelter. Whereas during the pandemic period, many people, they have by apprehension, get admitted in the hospital, or even keeping a COVID care center. It is not a treatment. It is a COVID care center. They are exploiting the people like anything. So that this is the right time. People somehow people able to understand that the public sector is the only backbone of the country. Public sector survival is very, very important for people's sake. Now it is right time. All the trade union, I'm not only speaking about my union, all trade union, irrespective of their political affiliation or central trade union affiliation, should come together. We have to go to the people. We have to go to the ordinary masses. If the public sector privatized, how this public will get affected? Now the national monetization pipeline also, there is a clause. Those whoever taking these government assets will have the service charges. These service charges will have additional burden on the common public. Thereby, there is ample opportunity, ample chances of getting increased the day-by-day price rise. So, in the front line of the trade union, we as a front rank leaders in the trade union, we are fighting. But my own experience, what I feel, a majority of the worker, if you are not politicizing them, if you are not ideologically developing them, what do you feel? Sir, you are a trade union man. Of course, you are fighting for that. Very good. You fight for a long time. You preserve it. You get me SVRS. You give me VRS. I'm going home like that. So that along that, you have to politicalize the working class. You have to politicalize your cadre, your member, your worker. Each and every this point should reach the grassroots level. Our comrade Tapan Sen, our CATU General Secretary, always used to say, you should reach in the unreached. And similarly, you should expose the politics behind the policies of the government. If we do regularly, workers can also be mobilized. With the workers, we can go to the people. Along with the working class and the ordinary masses alone, we can at least some extent stop this onslaught against the attack on public sector privatization, including port and dock sector.
Thank you, comrade. You have given a very clear picture about port and this act, and what you say is right. So every worker is to be politicized and be kept ready for our agitation. Thank you so much for your kind interview. Thank you.
Thank you.